The elevator pitch for this issue is that it's a reverse Indiana Jones. So I don't think it's all that far-fetched that I would expect this story to be about a giant animated bullwhip that goes around cracking this university professor who wears Stetsons. And it's not all that unreasonable to expect that the giant bullwhip would be a herpetologist because it just loves snakes so much. I think that's a fair assumption. I'm not crazy. Howdy, I'm Carey Williams, and today we're talking about issue 1 of Finders Keepers by Vita, Ayala, and Skylar Partridge. This is the 5th and final installment of Pornsak Pichetcho's Horizon Experiment, which is a series of one-shots that are designed to be like pitches for a full series, so the sales will determine whether or not this gets more issues. And guys, I'm begging you, buy this issue so that we can get a full series. Because the idea of a reverse Indiana Jones, a person who goes and works at museums and steals the artifacts to take them back to their culture, is really cool. I get the sense that since the 80s when Indiana Jones was popular, the overall cultural opinion on the morality of keeping artifacts from cultures in a museum has kind of changed. And subsequently, I think that plenty of readers would love to read this story, especially if we were able to draw out the story a little bit more, because these one-shots are cool ideas, they're like cool pitches, but that's all they are. Most first issues, and especially one-shots, have way too much exposition heavy lifting to do to make the story at all compelling, so this is pretty dense and way too fast-paced, and you can't really just enjoy the ride, you have to focus on every single detail. But, given more space to breathe with the story, I think that Vita Ayala would do a fantastic job telling it, so please, give them the chance to keep telling it by buying this issue so the sales figures go up. I will say that the art is not that good. This is my first time seeing Skylar Partridge's work, and I know that she's been working on Supergirl lately, and it looks pretty good based on what I've seen, but this art does not appear to be her best work. A lot of these panels are pretty stagnant and flat. There's like no attention to detail in most of the issue. The poses and the anatomy are definitely lacking. It doesn't look very fluid. Overall, it's a very sketchy and unfinished look. Especially towards the end of the issue. It seems like maybe she was running out of time or something, because this whole car chase scene is just filled with panels where everybody looks so unnatural and so undetailed, and there's just no real sense of anatomy there. Like this panel, I'm sorry, this is just really bad. I had to go back and double check that this character was who they were saying he was, because he doesn't really look anything like he did in the beginning of the issue. He looks like generic angry white guy, and he talks like one too. It's a little bit cliche the way he's talking, but I'm gonna let the author do what they want to do. This pose, gross. This pose just like it, gross. This face, I mean, come on, this is just kind of amateur. You could go to any high school in the country and you could find a dozen kids who could draw at this level or beyond this level. And like I said, Supergirl looks okay. I would not say that this is Partridge's best work. Supergirl is pretty clearly a better work of art. It's cleaner, it's much more crisp. So, you know, if they were to continue the series and they were to find a different artist who has more time or something, I wouldn't mind. Because although the script has a few cliches here and there, it is very solid, and it is very unique and inventive. Like this double-page spread where they sum up the first part of her heist by making it look like a board game with all these instructions that you have to actually read to understand what's going on. I think that's pretty cool. Or this page of notes by the main character is a really good way to sum up a bunch of character development and a bunch of history without making you watch this dumb montage with way too many panels on a page for you to be able to focus on. I think that out of all 5 of the Horizon Experiment issues, this is my second favorite. My first favorite being The Sacred Damned, which was very good, and you should buy that one too. So to sum all that up, great idea, pretty good execution. I think the art is not serving the story as well as it could, but overall, I would love to see more out of this series. I'll give issue 1 of Finders Keepers a 7 out of 10. I'm really excited about the idea, so that's why it's high, but I really don't like the art, which is why it's not an 8 or a 9. But I want to read more of this, and you want to read more of this probably, so please, go out and buy it. Updates on the channel are pretty much in the same place they were last video. There are some balls in the air, there are some emails that were sent, and I'm not sure what's going to be the next thing. But pretty soon here, I think I'm going to put out a top 10 comic shops in Georgia video. So if you have not seen every comic shop in Georgia yet, just go watch it. It's great. And until next time, I'm Carey Williams, and you are somebody else.